Abhimanyu, the warrior who fought fate. Mahabharata story. In the heart of the greatest war the world has ever known, a young warrior stood against impossible odds. He was just 16, but he carried the fire of heroes and the blood of Arjuna. This is the story of Abhimanyu, the prince who stepped into death's spiral, and chose to fight. Abhimanyu was born to Arjuna and Subhadra, nephew of Krishna, destined to be a warrior. Even before his birth, fate had carved a strange path for him. One day, Arjuna was explaining the battle formation called Chakravyuha to Subhadra. Unborn Abhimanyu listened from the womb. He learned how to enter the spiral, but before Arjuna could explain how to exit it, Subhadra fell asleep. And so, Abhimanyu's fate was sealed. He would one day enter the deadly trap, but not know how to come out. Years passed. The great Kurukshetra war began between the Pandavas and Kauravas. Armies clashed for dharma, for power, for revenge. On the 13th day of the war, the Kauravas formed the dreaded Chakravyuha, a formation so complex, only a few knew how to break it. But Arjuna, the master warrior, had been lured away by deceit. The Pandavas were desperate. That's when Abhimanyu stepped forward. "I know how to enter it," he said. "Let me lead." The Pandava warriors hesitated. He was just a boy. But time was running. With the courage of a lion, Abhimanyu charged. His arrows tore through the outer rings of the Chakravyuha. Enemies fell like leaves in a storm. He broke through the first layer, then the second, then the third. The Kaurava warriors were stunned. But behind him, the Pandavas were stopped. Jayadratha, using a boon from Lord Shiva, held back even mighty Bhima and Yudhishthira. Abhimanyu was alone, deep within a deadly spiral, surrounded by warriors far older, far more experienced, and far more ruthless. But Abhimanyu did not flinch. He fought with the skill of Arjuna, the spirit of Krishna. His arrows pierced the chests of Duryodhana's brothers. He killed warriors like Lakshmana, Shalaya's son, and many more. The Kaurava generals, Drona, Karna, Kripakarya, Ashvathama, surrounded him. They attacked him all together, violating every rule of war. Abhimanyu's bow was broken by Karna from behind. Still, he fought. With a sword, he carved through enemies. When that broke, he lifted a chariot wheel, like a divine warrior in the final stand. But fate had written a cruel end. Surrounded and weaponless, the young hero was finally struck down. The battlefield fell silent. A 16-year-old warrior had fought against an army, and had not fallen until the gods wept. When Arjuna returned and learned of his son's death, his heart shattered. He stood on the battlefield, eyes blazing, and vowed, "Before the sun sets tomorrow, Jayadratha shall fall by my arrows, or I shall die." The war intensified. Vengeance burned in every Pandava warrior. But even beyond revenge, Abhimanyu's sacrifice became a turning point. His bravery shook the very soul of the Kaurava army. He had shown what it meant to be a Kshatriya, what it meant to fight for dharma, even when the price was death. Abhimanyu's story did not end with his death. His wife, Uttara, later gave birth to their son, Parikshit. He would grow up to become king, the only survivor of the Kuru dynasty, and the listener of the Bhagavata Purana. Through Parikshit, Abhimanyu's bloodline continued. His name became legend, a symbol of unmatched bravery, youthful valor, and tragic heroism. Even today, the word Abhimanyu reminds us of a warrior who stepped into the heart of death, knowing he may not return, and still chose to fight. Some warriors win with victory. Some, with their sacrifice. Abhimanyu's story teaches us that even in the face of fate, even when the odds are unfair, courage matters. It teaches us to rise, to fight, not because victory is certain, but because it is the right thing to do. This is Abhimanyu, the warrior of Dharma, the hero of the Chakravyuha.